Savvy Central Radio, drawing out the best from our guests with your host, Christina Nitchman.
Our sponsor is Winty Aviation T-Shirt Art. Winty is your one-stop shop solution for all your graphic art needs, from logos, business cards, book covers, and banners. Contact Winty today at winty.com. Hello everyone, and welcome to Savvy Central Radio. This is your host, Christina Nitchman. Each week, Savvy runs weekly broadcasts providing entrepreneurs and successful individuals a platform to express their dreams, hopes, lessons learned, expertise, and wisdom with the world. Our guest today is award-winning celebrity radio show host, Pavlina Osta. This engaging teen radio and talk show host has been landing her own interviews with the world's notable superstars, athletes, and newsmakers on and off the red carpet since the ripe age of 11. Outside of proving herself as an accomplished celebrity entertainment journalist and radio talk show host personality, Pavlina is also a talented ballet dancer, steel drum performer, and in the Guinness Book of World Records twice. Find out more about Pavlina on her website at pavlinaosta.com. Hi, Pavlina. Welcome to Savvy Central Radio. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. I'm so excited you could join us for a live interview today. Girl, you have an amazing, unique story to the world of broadcasting. I mean, you started at 11 years old.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Tell us a little bit, run the audience through a little bit of your journey and how you got to where you are today.
Yes, I know. It feels like a very long one, so I'm just like, where am I? But, yeah, so I started, actually, when I was 10, I played steel drums. That was a thing my elementary school offered. So I started that and then got them made for me. You know, like I had 2 big double seconds.
Wow.
And, I love them. They're great. So I would I would play those on the beaches of Daytona Beach, where I'm from. And I was getting interviews by like local radio stations. They were just like, what is this little kid, doing on the beaches? And, so that's how I got started. And one of the radio managers was just like, you should just start your own show. You're at the station all the time. And I was like, great point, dude. So, I just started that when I was 11, and then Kevin Jonas came to Daytona Beach, like the next week after I started doing my 15-minute show. Yeah. And it was the hardest 15 minutes of my life. I didn't know how to talk for 15 minutes, think about when you were 11, okay?
Yeah,
it's just kind of like, what am I going to talk about? School? Like, wow, 6th grade, some kid pushed me into a locker. Like, I don't know. It was just like, what do I talk about? So the radio manager at that station was like, do some interviews. So Kevin Jonas came, snuck in, did that interview, and that's kind of how the interview thing that started. And then now it's been over 500, major celebrity interviews. I'm on 19 stations across the country. Amazing. Yeah. So it's growing now in the UK, which is exciting. Yeah. So, and now I live here in New York.
Yeah, so. I heard that you just moved here. And
yes.
Awesome. And we both are part of the AM/FM 247 gig, so that was cool.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about you. They said, you must hear Pavlina. She's amazing.
Thank you.
And she was right. You are.
Thank you so much. Yeah, they're great. They carry a lot of my shows. Yeah. So.
And so how was it interviewing? Was it a little scary interviewing at first? Because, you got to come up with questions and keep it going. I mean, was it complicated or difficult in the beginning, or was it kind of just very comfortable from the right start for you?
I think, it was never like a matter of like being nervous. I think it was just like, cause I taught myself I think almost everything I know. Yeah. And it was like, just kind of getting used to it. Like, I really enjoyed doing it. Like, that's why, I kept going. Yeah. But I loved talking to people. I love, learning about different people. But when I first started out, I had this steno pad and I would hold on to that was like my safety blanket. I was like, nothing, this thing, like, when in doubt, just look down. Yeah. So, I would have like my camera recording, I would have my questions, and throughout time, eventually I learned you should probably listen to your guest or whatever. Yeah. But before it was just kind of like I would look them up or whatever, and then, I would
homework on them. Yeah,
you know what I mean? But like before, I would read my question, look at them, be like, okay, great, and then look back down, read the next question, okay, great, like that was it. So it was a matter of just like getting used to it. But I was never really nervous about doing the interviews. So yeah.
It's interesting. When I first got started, my partner said to me, could you stop interrupting your guest, because I would get nervous, so I would be like in my head going, oh my gosh, I gotta stop this so I can remember the question.
Yeah.
So I would constantly step on them just to ask the question, and you like cut it out. So and then I started to bring a pen and paper and write down a key word if someone said something really
That's
interesting.
smart.
That helped me. Now I realize though, if I really just stop and pay attention to what they're saying, I'm not going to forget, because it's going to flow. It's like a normal conversation with a friend at a coffee table.
Exactly.
You don't forget what you're going to, well, sometimes you are thinking, shut up so I can talk. But a lot of times you're not, because it's a flowing conversation. You're like, okay, when they're done, we can go here and go deeper or something. But, you just learn that, I guess, as you keep going, that it's really not much more different than doing an actual conversation with someone.
Exactly. But like, even if you have like certain topics that you like, oh, I have to talk about this, or I really want to talk about like her new book coming up, or something crazy like that. It's always good to have. I have like a little card. I just keep bullet points on that, because I'm like, I don't want to ever forget this, or something like that.
Yeah. Or their website or something.
Exactly.
Like, you forgot my website.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
And I was excited. We talked before the interview how you had done the 347 interviews in 24-hour period and got in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yes.
How did that all come about? What prompted you to take on that challenge?
Yeah. Well, actually, a couple months beforehand, I had interviewed Hunter Hayes, who is a big country singer, at the Arthur Ashe Kidz Day event, and it was in Flushing, New York, and I interviewed him, and he had just done a Guinness World Record for like, I don't remember what it was, but it was like the most concerts in a certain area or something, and he was like, well, you should do one for interviews, and I was like, great idea. So I did one on interviews, and I 347. That was a lot. I was just like, oh my gosh. And then I just did one on the longest marathon playing steel drums. So just got second Guinness World Record.
And how long was that?
26 hours.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so the rule, there were so many rules. It's ridiculous. Okay. But, the main rule or whatever for breaks, every hour you're allowed 5 minutes, like 5-minute breaks. Okay. But you can build it up. For 4 hours, you can get like 20 minutes. Oh. But if you go 5 hours, you lose all the minutes. So what I usually do is just go 4 hours, like play for 4 hours, and then get 20 minutes, because like 5 minutes, what is that? Like, no, nothing. Yeah. So, yeah. But it was great. Yeah. My dad gave me hand massages, like, cause my hands would cramp up, like after a while, it's just like, I can't feel my arms, my legs, or my hands, Yeah. So, but
and so for the interview, I heard you were also at Walmart, was it?
Yes, yes, for the, most interviews. Yeah. In Port Orange, like the only place that's open besides like a 7-Eleven is Walmart. And that got a lot of traffic flow, lots of people coming through. So I was just like, this is perfect.
So how did you connect with them? Did you just go up to random strangers and just think of questions on the spot, or how did it work out that you?
Yes, well, each question had to be different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Tell me about it. Okay, like 5 questions for each person. Each answer had to be at least a sentence long, like no yes or no answers. And yeah, that was challenging. So what I did beforehand was I prepared a bunch of questions, like 1,000 questions. Yeah. And each note card had like 5 random questions of what's your favorite color? What's your favorite candy bar? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like just random stuff like that, to make sure that nothing was duplicated, because you couldn't have any of the same questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had told me, interestingly, before we got started with the interview too, that you had the option when you got started in broadcast that you could either choose dance or broadcasting, but you went with broadcasting. Now, what prompted you to make that decision, instead of going with dance?
I love dance so much. Like I miss it like every single day. Like if like I had one regret, it's like I didn't keep up with dance or like ballet, to be more like specific. Yeah. But I just love radio more. Like I just like dance is right here, but radio's like right here. Like I just love radio more. And I miss dance and everything, but radio's like where it's at.
Yeah, and you don't have to give it up.
No, true. But like I was in the IB program back in Florida, and that took up all of my time. And my dance, so I tried to go to different dance studios like in Daytona, but like it wasn't working. Like I went to Orlando Ballet, which is an hour from where I lived. Yeah. So at 2 hours commuting, plus like 5 hours at the studio, that was not working. So like with like the rigorous academic program of IB, like it plus my radio show, like on top of all that.
Yeah,
so.
How do you keep up with that? Because I know there's some kids going to listen into the show.
Yeah.
Most of the people who tune in are parents, and most of them are women.
Yes.
So they do have teenagers, and I know they're going to want to hear your show. So a lot of them be like, hey, I've always had a desire to go into radio or do something of my own dream, but I feel like, how could I do that and keep up with my academics? How did you keep it all together?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of just prioritizing and making sure you get everything done. But like, so actually my junior year of high school was probably like the best, scheduling I had or whatever, you know? So I would, from 5 a.m. to 7, I would work at the local radio station, interning there. And then school started at 7:20. So I would go to school. I would do as much homework as I could in between classes, during lunch, in any kind of free period classes that we would have. So just to get school out of the way, just kind of like do this assignment, get it done. And then afterwards, I would after school, I would either go to an interview, record my show, do something related to my show, and then the rest of the time, I'd either be with study groups, because that helped a lot with school, especially because I missed a lot of school. So, because I would miss school either going to Las Vegas for an event or to New York for an event, and because personally, I was like, oh, well, I'd rather go to this event than
go to school.
Well, yes. So, but I kept up on my, academics, definitely. Being in the IB program, if you miss a day, it's like missing a week.
Whoa.
So, but somehow, luckily, I kept up with it.
Yeah.
So, it was good.
I get you. I was part of the all-state orchestra in the school performing arts. I went to school performing arts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I used to practice like 4 hours a night on my violin. So,
oh my gosh, you play the violin?
Yeah.
That's like, I want to learn that instrument.
Oh,
you need to teach me.
Yeah.
I'll teach you the steel drums.
Yes, awesome. And I actually want to dance, so you can teach me dance.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Ballet teacher, we'll shut down the stage we got over here, and we'll put up some ballet bars, a couple mirrors. Yeah, we got this.
Yes. But I understand keeping it together. Like, if you want to have a passion, sometimes you just have to, prioritize. And also maybe it's not really struggle so much, but you just have to decide that this is more important to me right now.
Yeah.
I can't hang out for pizza. I have to do this.
Exactly. It's all about like sacrificing,
a little bit,
like I can't even tell you how many birthday parties or sleepovers I missed because this sounds terrible, but like, sorry, I can't go to your sleepover. I'm at a concert doing an interview. But like at the time, it was just like, I'm missing Sarah's sleepover. And, in the back of my mind, I'm like, are you kidding me? You're at a concert and you're interviewing this like big band. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So certain sacrifices like that.
Did you feel bummed sometimes or?
No, not really.
That's how you know you're in the right spot.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's been a couple times where it's like, I really wanted to go to her birthday party or like, I really wanted to do this, but like, I remember actually, I missed my 9th grade homecoming and everyone was posting pictures about it, and I had a group of friends that I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go to this red carpet or not, so I told them I'd go with them.
Okay.
So they were like, oh, hey, do you think you can come and stuff? And I was like, no, I had to run to Miami for this red carpet. I was bummed. and then I went to homecoming the next year, and I was like, I've missed nothing.
Yeah,
like, it's not even great. Like, what is this? So and then I couldn't believe that I was so bummed out last year about I was at a red carpet and I was missing homecoming.
Well, you don't know what you don't know.
True, exactly. And then I went to homecoming the next year. Turns out I missed nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
And so, I'm thinking, because I had heard early on when you first were 11, you started getting celebrity interviews, you kind of snuck on the red carpet. You weren't like going through official channels. And that was really cool, because some people often think, well, you have to go through official channels to make things work. And sometimes, kind of bending the rules gets you to go where you have to go.
Yeah.
What made you think, hey, I'm going to get out there and do this and not get stopped? Like, did you just say, I'm just going to try it and see what happens?
Yeah, well, okay, so on the fly interviews are kind of like my thing. It's a lot more than half of them, like way more than half have been, scheduled, and I've been on the list and everything, but a lot of like some of the crazy ones, like I interviewed Steven Tyler. That was on the fly. Like I just went backstage and I was just like, hi, can I ask you a couple questions? Thanks. But my very first one was Kevin Jonas. That was the only one I really snuck in on. But it was kind of cool because it was like my first celebrity interview.
Yeah.
So I snuck in with this meet and greet with one of my friends. Okay, so she was on the meet and greet list, and I just kind of like snuck in with her. And then I told this big manager, Johnny Wright, I think is his name, that I had an interview with Kevin. And he was like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And then he let me do it. And I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, that's how that started. Yeah. But yeah.
That's cool. I had heard this one woman, and she loves physics.
Okay.
And she said, I love physics. She worked as a magazine as like doing administrative work. And she said, I love physics, but, I want to go to this big, physics conference, but they only let physicists and scientists in there. It's like, so she called him and said, hey, I'm a journalist with the so-and-so magazine. She was administrative. And, I'd like a press pass, please. And she got a press pass, and then that became like her journey, and now she's an actual scientific writer, and I forgot her name right now. But the idea that, hey, wait a second, here's an idea that I can make it happen and go forward and live my dreams.
That's awesome. That's genius.
So, yeah, I'm sure it wasn't always easy, and you had some challenges along your way in getting and reaching your dream. Yeah. What are some of the challenges you encountered, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, well, I think when I started out, I was kind of shy, which now I'm definitely not shy. Like, I ask people, whatever, just go for it. Yeah. But, when I was 11, 12, I was kind of shy about certain things, and there's always been, like, those kids at school, that would, they weren't, like, necessarily, like, bullies. It was just kind of, like, they would either, like, look at me kind of weird or, like, what are you doing here kind of thing. I'm just like, I'm going to school, guys. Like, what do you want? And then, like, random things, like, kids would come up to my locker and be like, I heard you interviewed Kanye. And I'm like, well, I didn't. So, going to European history right now. Gotta go. Like, random stuff. I'm just like, okay. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty interesting.
So do you think it was jealousy or just uncomfortableness because they feel like you're not in the same world as them? I
don't know about jealousy. Like, I'm not, what are you jealous of? But yeah, so I don't know. I guess I just never really felt like a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go to any football games. Didn't find them interesting. I didn't care if, whatever. Like, I have school pride, like, go Hawks, but like, I don't know. I've never been into like, to school stuff. Like, I don't know, like, I've joined clubs and everything like that, but like, I never felt, I'm not into like the parties or high school stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
It's weird. I'm always like, career, like, let's go.
Yeah. And as I said, I was in the school performing arts and I practiced my violin a lot and everything, but I also didn't care about anything except for the prom. When I missed the prom, I was like, I missed the biggest thing in my entire life. And of course, like you, all my friends were like, you didn't miss anything. Yeah. You're fine.
I know. Well, I went to prom, in my junior year, because you have it for juniors, seniors, and I'm missing it this year, obviously, because I'm up here. But like, I don't even care. Like, it's not that great. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
What would you tell any young tween or teen that's like, I want to reach for my dreams, but I think I'm too young, or how do I even get started? What would be your advice to them?
Okay, well, you're definitely not too young.
Yes.
Like, I think the younger the better.
Yeah.
And if you know if you're lucky enough, because I always say, like, I'm so lucky to know this is what I wanted to do from the age of 11. Like, that's insane. If you're lucky enough to know, I want to be a professional dancer, or I want to be a professional fill in the blank. Then go for that, because that's awesome. And like, just work to pursue whatever it is. If you want to be a lawyer, get the best grades and study the law and like take field trips to courthouses and stuff, Yeah. So I would whatever it is, just keep working at it and, surround yourself with people that are really going to help you and that will build you up and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I remember hearing you say, I think it was your book I read.
Oh, yes.
Where you were actually saying that, you think that you wouldn't get taken seriously, but actually, because I took myself seriously, because you were talking about yourself, that's why people took me serious. Yeah. Because people think, oh, no, they're not going to listen to an interview with an 11-year-old or a 12-year-old. But they did, and you said it's because I took myself seriously, and I treated this like a serious business.
Yes, and like, that is... Thank you, self. I believe that, because like that's true. Like, if you do, then I don't care, like, if you're a 13-year-old, get yourself some business cards. Yeah. And start filling out your resume, You
even talked about the equipment you got that you started where you could, you got the Sony little player at first, and then you build up to an awesome mic, but you gotta start where you're at. And so,
and like, you don't know if it's gonna last. Like, maybe like, you're just like, one day you wake up and you're just like, I'm not into this. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to waste a bunch of money on it. Yeah. So I built up to where I am now. It works.
And plus, whoever said you have to do one thing in life? I mean,
right?
You could totally love dance now, and then 10 years from now, being like, it's been awesome, but we're moving on.
Yeah, right? Yeah, even when because right now, my goals or whatever, I want to make my show more syndicated, my radio show, and then I want to eventually move into TV. I know, right? So I want to eventually move into TV
show today.
Yes. So I want to do that, but I also eventually, let's just get radio and TV down first. Yeah. But like, I would like to go into like fashion and like, lipstick
Design
lines and stuff. Like, something like that. I would just want like a clothing line and,
I totally see you on TV.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I'll take that. But yeah, so I want to go into a bunch of different, career paths as well, but obviously broadcasting and TV and radio.
So how is it going to work out now? Like your next plan for the next 5 years? You're now finishing high school. You're not out of high school yet.
Yes, finishing. It's taking forever. but yeah, so I should be graduating either this month or next month because I plan on doing early graduation. If not, then whatever. So applying to colleges, obviously continuing growing my show, doing interviews, all that stuff. And I'm working on AM 970 with Joe Piscopo. So that is like the best job, you know, like working and learning on that show. So that's currently what's going on. Yeah. But
as of today, like of all the experiences you had, celebrities or otherwise, interviews and all the red carpet stuff you might have done, what is like the greatest lesson in life or business that you've learned that you could pass on to our listeners?
I think if you ever like, you know, okay, I interviewed Barbara Corcoran. Okay. And she said, right? Yeah. Shark Tank? Like, what? So, she said that she hired, I don't know, I'm not quoting her because I don't remember exactly what it was. But like, she said that she would want to hire someone that has fallen, but then picks himself up right away. And I feel like if you ever fall or if you ever like don't succeed in something, to pick yourself up right away. And I feel like that would be a good thing.
Yeah. There might be a slight time of feeling sorry, cry,
but fine. Then, have a day or two, you know, to yourself. Yeah. Cry or something. I don't really cry. I'm like emotionless sometimes, but yeah, you know, do that and then just be like, personally, I find getting angry sometimes like helps. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just like, it's like, well, dang it, that didn't happen. Okay, so this is what's gonna happen. Like,
oh my gosh.
That's what I do. I don't necessarily get angry at anyone, but like, I just get angry at myself. And I'm just like, you need to do this. Like,
a number of years ago, I was studying, flying and I stopped. But
like, to be a pilot?
Yeah, it was just not to do it for like training or to become a pilot, like for hire, but just for fun.
Yeah, okay. I always say like, in my second life, I would totally be a pilot.
You gotta do it.
I feel like that'd be so cool.
My partner, the one doing this awesome filming, he's a pilot, so we can take you up sometime.
Oh my gosh, I need to build up my flight hours or something. Yeah. My brother has flight hours and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, you need to teach me how to fly.
We need to take you up for a discovery flight so you can get a feel for it. You'll love it. You'll totally head
Oh my gosh. Okay, well because this is like super random, but I went skydiving on my 18th birthday. Coolest thing ever.
Oh my god.
You all need to go. Yes. Just go. Okay, it's amazing. And yeah, it was great. So like in a crazy world or something, I would like fly myself up and then I would jump out and then like someone can take over the plane. But like
and then
random.
And then interview on the ground when you land.
Was I talking to you about that? Or was that someone else?
No, you didn't, but you should do that.
Who was I talking to? I was talking to someone. I was like, I could interview someone while skydiving. Like,
oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I don't know who I was talking to. Weird. Anyway, yeah. I was like, that would be cool. Like, I don't think it would work because like the wind and like the microphones, but.
No, it might. I mean, with microphones and technology today, it totally might be
true. Possible. We'll have to like, maybe you could like put it, I don't know, if you wear like a mask or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we can think about it.
We'll figure it out and then we'll go skydiving and interview each other.
Yeah, I might do it on the ground or in the airplane and not jump out.
You don't want to jump out? It's great. It's so fun.
But anyway. The getting angry part, when I had some really difficult times learning, because you get to plateaus when you fly, being angry got me to fly better. And so it's like sometimes you're like, and then you're like, and then you just push yourself more. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's why I like it, is because like, you just happen to push yourself more. It's just kind of just like, well, get to it.
Yeah. So you see yourself now building your station, hopefully going more abroad. Yeah. Is there any type of interviews? If you could interview someone you haven't interviewed yet, who would it be?
Oh my god, there's like so many people. Wait, what is it?
There's like millions.
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we have to start off with like people I look up to. So like Oprah, Ellen, all those women. So I interviewed Gloria Steinem, but I'd want to interview her again because she just came out with a book and I'm like waiting to read it. I bought the book. I've seen her read it now. I love talking to her. I would definitely want to talk to her again. Oh my gosh. I'm blanking, but there's so many people, like, different performers or, I really like legendary performers. Do you know what I mean? Like, I interviewed Pete Seeger and Greg Almond.
Yeah.
Who, people were like, first of all, you know who they are? And I was like, yes. And second, they were like, Greg Almond, like, isn't he mean? And I was like, no, he's one of the nicest people ever. So,
yeah.
I don't know. And I love like the history that they have. So like any legend like that.
I heard you say that in your book too. That people have an idea that some of these celebrities are like, they're jerks. They think there's something special. Yeah. And he said, I hang out with them and, spend some time or day, and you're like, they're awesome. Most of them are awesome. But that's true, because they're people.
Yes.
When you get down to it, people get so nervous. And I know I've had a couple of interviews that the people were a certain influence, and that got me nervous. And my partner's like, listen, they're just people. Just chill.
Exactly. Like, personally, I don't understand how people get starstruck. I'm just like, they're just people. Like, I understand, like, you look up to them and everything, but like,
exactly.
It's amazing.
People.
So.
But, I mean, it's really cool that, you can connect with them and then realize that, hey, they are just people, and then you help them get their message out, and
Exactly. Yes.
Yay. So I'm really excited about what's coming up for you, but I want you to let the audience know where they can find out more about you and see your awesome interviews.
Yeah, okay, so all of my social media is Pavlina, like, at Pavlina Osta, and then my YouTube channel has all of my celebrity interviews, which is also youtube.com/Pavlina Osta. And that's, like, everything's Pavlina Osta.
And I must mention to everyone that Pavlina here is not like everyone else. I've heard a reporter say that you're like Barbara Walters. And I was like, you are so not. She is better than Barbara Walters because she's the most authentic, real interviewer I've ever met. And that's why you're going to kick butt and just this. Sky's the limit for you, girl.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for coming to Savvy Central Radio and sharing your gifts and talents today. And I know you're going to come back for many more because we're taking you flying.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. We can drink more cappuccinos together.
Right.
Yes.
Well, thank you again for coming to Savvy Central Radio.
Thank you.
Savvy Central Radio is home to over 100,000 listeners per month globally and runs in syndication on 8 AM and FM platforms, including iHeartRadio and 6 podcasting platforms. To find out more about our paid sponsorship opportunities or to become a guest and find out how we can help you get your message out to the world, call 718 area code 713-2289 or email at savvycentralradio@gmail.com.